A senior Biden infestation official confirmed that the U.S. paused weapons to Israel last week over concerns how those weapons may be used in a potential offensive in Rafah. This comes as the White House is expected to issue a decision about whether or not Israel's airstrikes over Gaza and restrictions of a delivery violate international and U.S. humanitarian law. Talks to secure a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas continue. William Burns is expected to meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
We are at the port of Ashdod on Israel's coast, and the Pentagon says construction of that floating pier here by the U.S. military to boost aid deliveries to Gaza is now complete. It's right behind these large buildings here, but the forecast of high winds and high seas are delaying its move to Gaza, where it'll eventually be installed. Also hugely important this morning, CBS News can confirm the White House is in fact pressuring Israel to not launch a major military invasion of Rafah. A senior administration official confirms that one shipment of weapons was paused last week. That contains 1,800 one-ton bombs and 1,700 500-pound bombs. The U.S. is especially concerned that Israel will use those bigger bombs on Rafah, which has nearly 1.4 million people crammed into a small area and with nowhere safe to go. The Pentagon has made it a point, though, to say Israel's current strikes on Rafah are a very limited operation to cut off Hamas's access to weapons and money, but that any major incursion would risk civilian lives. As for starting aid shipments to Gaza by sea, once the pier here is installed on the Gaza Strip, the U.S.-flagged cargo ship Sagamore is in Cyprus, ready to sail and then deliver humanitarian supplies.
Earlier this morning, I spoke with Nancy Cordes about the Biden administration's move to pause the shipment of bombs to Israel.
This is so fascinating, Anne-Marie. The backstory is that a few days ago there was a report out of Israel that the White House or the Biden government administration more broadly had paused a shipment of weapons. But when we asked about it here at the White House, when our colleagues asked about it at the State Department, at the Pentagon, we were all sort of waved off of it. We were given no comment. The report was kind of downplayed. And then suddenly, senior administration officials are now confirming that, yes, the U.S. did pause this shipment of 1,800 2,000-pound bombs and 1,700 500-pound bombs. And the reason that they did that, they say, is out of concern about this imminent ground invasion by Israel of Rafah.